Thank you for tuning in to Andronetalks Radio, gathering as one in our sovereign truth from a galactic perspective, exploring our world with new ideas, knowledge, and a promise of a better future. Galactic discussions for galactic-minded people. Andronetalks.
Well, this was a very interesting and maybe considered controversial conversation, but regression, I should say. And the information is coming from an altered state of mind with visions and imagery and seeing different things. Now, I want to clarify that that the information comes up because of what we're seeing are the entities associated, and with lack of better terms, the names of different people come up where the entity has, stepped in or stepped out of, or has frequented. The body's an empty vessel for some, or open vessel, and as they do different things, different types of activities, which I've talked to people about, doing ceremonies and so forth, and experimental drugs and even regular drugs, and can sometimes, or alcohol, can open up the body and have it available for a lot of different things. And some people that do channeling and just kind of allow their body to come through and do all sorts of stuff. And when the regression comes up and people start to identify who the entities are, and so they attribute a name to it. And so I just want to be clear that it's not about, hey, let's, go after this one or that one, but rather for us to have an awareness that we do not accept the entity to be coming into our reality, and it needs to be removed. Bottom line. And it doesn't matter if they finish using one body, they'll use another. I have had the impression of someone like, I don't know, Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer has had an entity that stepped in and out and has done the same type of killings and bad behaviors, which is just an entity. And the body was already vacant, the soul, I don't know if it was even left. And this is what's happening, and people, they see the body, they attribute everything to the body, like Jeffrey Epstein that we've talked about before. The same thing, the things start moving through the body, and before you know it, you have this thing, in control. And it just uses the body to do whatever it has to do, then steps out into the astral. It never gets caught. And so when you say, well, something's resolved, no, it's not necessarily resolved until that entity is gone. And this is a lot about what we're talking about. So I don't want, like everyone go into, riot and this and that, but just to have an awareness that this is about the astral beings that we're contending with, whether they're greys, whether they're reptilians, whether they're some other species, the being that's referring to himself as Poseidon, Enki, whatever the term is, and then getting away with a whole bunch of criminal activities galactically, and by the way, they don't fully get away with it. This is what's happening right now. This is a time of accountability, and a lot of them are getting in trouble for what they're doing. And so this is coming from a higher level, and we're getting to understand all of these things, and so this is a part of our growth on a spiritual level, to recognize that we are here, and we're here to learn. We're also here to be a witness, And, there are many that want to be judges or whatever. Well, you have to have the consciousness and awareness and the insight to be able to differentiate and say that see the difference between the soul and the entity. You can see that with Jenifer, she is, pretty much showing us what some of the agendas are, which is really critical. The agendas are coming through a lot more clearly. And also a side note, this actual video was done over a month ago. And so I've been holding back in this information until it was ready, and I felt like everything's timing. So it's not to offend the people that, have their preferences and enjoy certain information and shows and all this other stuff. It's not about that at all. It's about helping people to see deeper. A lot of my work is interdimensional seeing and seeing the many layers of things that are happening in the astral, dimensionally, off-world, through parallels and alternate spaces, mirror realities, and so forth. And so if you start looking there, you'll start to begin to see who the players really are and how they like to puppet people. And I think we're at a phase right now. It's not just condemning humanity, but rather, if we can't expose these entities, we can't free humanity of some responsibilities that were laid on them, that they were used, that they were bullied, manipulated, hijacked, taken at a very young age and conditioned to go along with some of these agendas. And that this is, pretty much the core of what I'm trying to do is separate and help people to understand that there has to be a division between us and the astral and what their activities are, so that there's an old saying, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Well, if the child is innocent and if the water is dirty, then you get rid of the dirty water. And essentially that's what we're doing. That's what I would like to do. And I think most people would agree with me, because once the entities are gone, I'm not saying that the people that are complying were 100% innocent, but some of them are completely hijacked. They're not aware of what they're doing, puppeted, manipulated, and fully mind controlled, especially those that are operating with implants and experiences like that. There's also, it's probably uncomfortable for a lot of people because of the deep fear that throughout, if you've been on this planet for any length of time, there is conditioning that has been going on where there's a deep fear of certain things that resides and will remain in the subconscious because it is part of your soul history and your memory. And as much as they try to wipe that stuff out, they can't. It's a part of history, and as long as your soul exists, which the divine makes that decision, not anyone else, then you have a right to help yourself to clear and understand and to grow from this, and rather never look at these beings as a license to imitate them, thinking that if they get away with it, I can get away with it. Never use them as an example, or that one body houses the entire problem. I mean, it's usually a collective, a group. As you can see, even the species work together. So it's very organized, and there's an infrastructure that goes on, and some interesting bedfellows, those that are working together that you would not ever expect. So this goes a lot deeper than people realize, and I'm trying to help people to open up their eyes and see this. So however this information is interpreted, hopefully this brings and sheds some light on it. And with that said, I want to say thank you to those that are listening, have patience in trying to understand some of the information that I've been bringing forward. And I'm sure that most of you will agree that we need to be liberated and sovereign from any of these interlopers and galactic criminals who have been manipulating the experience of humanity at this time. Thank you.
And next to some waterfall.
You're standing next to a waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
You sense the water and what the rest of the land looks like.
You get to warm springs. Water feels warm.
Does it look tropical?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
No, I take that back. I don't think it's tropical. It looks like I'm there. It's hot springs, but there's snow around me. It's overlooking another body of water. It's like a hot spa thing, like hot springs. And there's rocks everywhere, but there's snow. And now it looks like some kind of a well. With rocks around it. They're like they built a well. Maybe a fort.
Can you see yourself there? Look down at your feet.
Okay, I can see my feet, but they look wet.
Okay. Are you a male or a female?
Male.
Do you know what culture you're from?
Keep on seeing, I think, like a merman or something.
Nope. It's just another society.
A really, really strong torso. When I'm on land, I can see my feet, but I've got webbing between my toes.
You're a strong swimmer. What color is your hair?
Blonde.
What do you call your society and the others? There are others, aren't they? Like you.
I'm all alone right now.
Is this your home, where you're at?
I feel at home here, but I don't think it's my home.
Are you on the planet we're looking at right now?
I see sand. I see a horizon. Yeah, you know what? I feel trapped.
Why?
Like I can't get out of that well.
Oh, did someone put you there?
I think so, because I'm looking down now and my feet are in water, but I can't move.
Did someone chain you there or hold you there by some other restrictive?
Yeah, I'm stuck in that well somehow. I can't move. I can't get out of it.
Tell me who put you there.
You're going to laugh, but I think it's Poseidon.
Do you know what you did that made him want to do that to you?
I've got like a tail now. It's changing colors. I've got some kind of life energy. Something that's wanted, I don't know. But I'm being kept there for something later. My arms are chained up to the side of the cave. I've got a really white torso, but it's glistening. I haven't done anything. I'm like an offering of some sort.
For who?
It's like an offering to a god or something to appease somebody. I think I have a beard. I'm some kind of a king.
Do you know what your name is?
Something off. OTH. Bartholomew or off. Something off. Bartholomew.
And where did you reign? Where was your kingdom?
Atlantis.
You were one of the kings of Atlantis?
Yeah.
Do you remember me?
Did you have red hair?
At one time? Yeah.
I can see you.
And who was I?
I have a trident. You're my daughter. I have a trident in my hand or some kind of a... Maybe I had that when I was in Atlantis. I don't have it now.
Did Poseidon take it from you?
Yeah, and my crown.
So were you the original, the first king, and then Poseidon took over Atlantis?
I was very, very old. Yeah, I've been on that chain to that thing for a long time.
How come no one rescued you?
They didn't know where I was.
Do you have an idea where he brought you? The soft planet or is this on planet?
Now I'm on planet. I'm in... Well, I almost want to say that I'm in somewhere in Ireland. It almost looks like a fort, but it's like a deep well where there's water up to my calves. It's like I'm being teased because when I can walk on land, but I've got these fin-like features on my feet and on my body when they get wet, and they're translucent. They're a really pretty color.
Did you have a spouse?
I want to say Miriam or Mary.
Do you know who she is now?
She's being held captive. She doesn't know it. She's somewhere.
Do you know her in this lifetime?
I think she's my friend. Girlfriend. They have the same name, and I think they look alike.
One from South America.
Yeah.
How did Poseidon take from you? How did
He tricked me.
How?
Pearls. Something to protect pearls. I thought he was helping. He's like the Pied Piper. He lured me into a place. And I was the only one that could go. I was the only one that could help with this, but it's like I followed a string of pearls. And there's a gate now above the well where I'm locked in. But this water is not good for me because it's not salt water.
So what happens to you?
I'm disintegrating. My fins are... Like the fins are coming off. It's like making me older and just weaker.
Where am I? Am I still trapped over there?
Yeah, but it's almost like you don't remember me. I think you're married to somebody you shouldn't be.
I'm married to someone in Atlantis.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be.
Was I married to Poseidon?
I think so. I think he tricked that. Yeah. And my wife is under a daze. She's being controlled somehow.
She's still there too.
Yeah, and he's controlling her with that trident. She thinks that he's me.
Is he with both of us?
I don't know. It's like she's under some kind of a trance. She feels comfort. She's sniffing my face from it. I don't know.
What's on your face?
It's like her face. No, her face is covered with something.
Like some kind of
seaweed or something.
Shells.
Where she can't see. He's got her in some kind of a daze where she's not going to do anything because she feels protected by Poseidon, but she knows something is up. She just can't do anything about it, but she's also very gray. She's not healthy. I think I end up dying in that well. I try to stone or something. I go into the stone, something.
Do you have a portal open? Is that how the Ireland is hooked into Atlantis? Is because of you?
Oh, there's a yeah. The fort is hidden. It's like so it looks like a well, but it's part of a much bigger, almost like a castle, but under the sand. And so I think it was flooded before, or I don't know what, but something covered it from the land. That part of the land was underwater before.
And did Poseidon change that?
That's what he did. He did that. He changed it to keep me imprisoned. I'm on the northern part of England, Wales. And it's something that people can't see because the sand is covering it up. They can see this. It's like a well, though, for them.
So it's not Ireland. It's Wales, actually.
Yeah, sorry. It's Wales.
Is there anything else then? So you never get out of there. Your wife was never awakened.
No.
You are the first king of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Where do you come from? Do you come from Neptune?
I have a link to the Vikings.
How do you have a link to the Vikings? Did you help them?
I think I helped them when I came. I helped them with something, and this has something to do with Poseidon. Some kind of an agreement that was made that we could walk on land, but we were sea creatures, and it was something. The Vikings harnessed something. Poseidon gave them something. Something to do with that trident, but also my crown. The Vikings know where I am, but they're not going to do anything about helping me.
Why not?
Because Poseidon gave them something.
It's because Poseidon is a Titan. So the Titans are also connected to the Vikings.
Well, it's some kind of a deal. I don't know what.
Can you break that deal with him right now?
I'm going back to where I started following those pearls. Something pulled me out of Atlantis that looked like pearls. They're translucent pearls. They're balls. They're. I want to see their energy of some kind. There's some kind of technology that Atlantis needs, and I'm being led out of the city to go and find some more. It's almost like a link, a chain that's bringing me up to this place. But I'm mesmerized by these translucent balls are all hooked one to another. But I don't understand how they're hooked together. I don't know why they're hooked together.
Do they have some kind of magnetic or...
There's some kind of technology.
Tech, yeah.
But so now I'm saying I couldn't see it before. They're tied together by seaweed or something, but they're never supposed to be linked like that. So I'm following it to see why it's linked like that. It's going all around. It's like underwater. But how did I notice this? I see it in my hand. It's like a translucent ball. Some kind of energy. But they're not supposed to be linked with one another. They're not. They operate independently. And that's what I wanted to protect Atlantis. It was something about protecting it, and I didn't understand this kind of why they were linked. Some kind of new technology, or maybe it's harmful.
Did Poseidon bring that in?
He lured me out of Atlantis with him.
So your curiosity.
My concern. Oh my God, I can see these things inside of people.
Oh. So are they living organisms?
Yeah, they're inside of people.
What do they do?
I don't know, but I can see them like round balls, and they're inside of people. I don't know how they're getting inside. I don't think they're being eaten. But they're inside of people, and they're shifting their polarization. Something's happening to them about living underwater. It's hurting them. It's changing their color of their skin. It's changing their demeanor. It's doing different things to their bodies. It's making some of them morph.
Into what?
I'm seeing different kinds of fish, different kinds of people, different body morphs that are not normal. It's making some men really, really strong. It's killing some other people, but this is dangerous.
Like mutations.
Yeah.
Are they all the same, and they just have different reactions to different people?
You know what? This is at the very beginning. Now, whatever Poseidon did, it's the death of Atlantis. Everybody's infected with this. But I'm going back to where it began, and it's this strand that actually came in to Atlantis, and people became enamored with them. And I went to investigate where it came from, and that's where I got trapped. But these were almost like jewels or something that people took. They almost look like they're like balls or eggs, and they're glowing inside. And they either food, somehow people are ingesting them. They're inside their bodies. Little kids are playing with them. They do all sorts of things. They hypnotize people. They do something.
He has to have them all removed from the planet.
It's like they floated in, in a net. And people started saying these things were helpful. They were some kind of technology to bring light or to do different things for people. But everybody that touched them got infected. Every time they touch them, it comes in and they start to multiply in their bodies.
Is this related to anything that's in the stomach?
See a pink light. It's a pink throbbing light. Yeah, it looks like the same. It looks like something
How did she get that from Poseidon in this light?
They look like eggs. They literally look like eggs implanted in her stomach. But it's something that I don't want to say it's feeding off her. It's like it's gaining information.
How did it get there in the first place? Can you see?
It was given to her.
From who?
The doctor.
Was the doctor compromised by Poseidon?
Yeah, her doctor gave her It was something she thought was good for her, but it wasn't. I can see a white and blue capsule she swallows. And she had to eat certain kinds of food to make it grow and multiply. Oh, God, I see somebody with really, really weird, like fluorescent eyes looking at her.
What do they want to happen out of this? Just to collect information from her?
She's really golden right now. She's got golden hue to her. They want her womb. They want her womb. They put something in her stomach so that they could work on her womb when she didn't know about it.
Are they planning on having her bring in some kind of beings, or
they're isolating her womb for some reason? Her womb is important for them. It's like they're growing things within her womb, but she can't focus on that. She's got to focus on that. They're keeping her focused on that tumor for her not to understand what's happening with literally her womb. And she's got gold around her womb. There's something so much that they want from her.
What do they want? So who is she to them?
She's some kind of goddess. I see her in Atlantis. She's a very special being. I see her, she's got, all the other people have different colors. She's the only one that's very golden. She's just gold all over her.
And who is she? What's her name?
Zara?
Is that like Zora?
I think so. It's something with a Z and an A. Zara. I got Zara, but Zaora. Zara.
Is she connected to Zoroaster?
She could be.
Is she Anunnaki? Is the Anunnaki like gold? They consume gold.
She's just this very, very special being that everybody wants. It's almost like she's a hidden treasure that they're trying to hide, or she's very sought after. Feels like she was in Atlantis to be hidden. And then Poseidon found her.
Does she bring something to the planet?
I actually think she does. I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's...
Right, no, I was just curious, like, other than her just being benevolent and being hid, does she bring something else to the planet, like some kind of healing?
She does with the song. She has some kind of a vibration on her that sings to people. It's actually very funny because in this lifetime doesn't know how to swim, and she's scared to death of the water. She's got like almost, it's like a mermaid song. She's got something really good about her, but she's been hurt. She takes on people's pain. She was misrepresented somehow. People were I think Poseidon made her look like a golden fish. I keep on seeing this rock solid golden fish that people would see her as, but she's actually this beautiful golden being. I don't know what her power is. I don't know if it's healing or if it's nurturing. She's a very, very good, she's such a good soul. I keep on seeing her swimming around frantically trying to be seen for what she is, not what she's being covered up to be. And I think that's who Poseidon is actually really after.
And so he wants to use her, but is he going to harm her?
I think he already has. He had to harm her to use her. She's not the only one either. There's a bunch of them there. She's part of some kind of a species. She helps people with toning. She heals people with sound. It's almost like I can feel her singing to me. It's like she sings a lullaby to wake things up in your body, to get to heal you, but she's linked to these things, these egg things. I think Poseidon is creating those egg things in her womb.
Who are the others? Do you know any of the others that are connected to her?
I can see the back of their heads, but I can't see their faces.
You can ask them to turn around so they can show who they are to you in this time, in time space. And then see if you recognize them here.
I think I just saw Shagufta. And 2 girls that I went to high school with. Yeah, they're from Zoroaster, or whatever. They just said we were Zoroastrian.
Mm-hmm. They need to be protected and brought back to where they belong.
They need the shields to be lifted. They need for Poseidon to stop doing what he's doing. But it's like they're masked. Poseidon has done something to them so that everybody sees these golden fish that don't mean anything, and they're frantically swimming around trying to help people because people can't see them. They can't get that done. And all of their wombs, I can see their wombs are being used to produce these eggs, these things, these translucent things that people are eating, but they're within them, but he's using it for the wrong purpose. He thinks he wants to control people with the way. It's like he's encapsulating what they can do, their gifts, into these eggs. And he's putting them in people in order to be able to control them. But it doesn't have the desired effect. Whatever they produce, he's creating these eggs. It's like he's trying to take their essence from them.
Yeah.
But it's not working. And like, for example, the tumor is where it's being hidden. That's where they're being like made. It almost looks like he's trying to reproduce them, but it's actually their gift. But he's not doing it right, and people are getting sick. People are really, really sick, and they're morphing into. It's like an experiment. They're morphing into these things, and I'm looking at them, and now I can see they've got gold flecks in their eyes. Okay. So the way to help is that I need to go back and I need to take that trident back from Poseidon. And he took my crown somewhere, and that's where my wife will wake up. The trident is it's hidden somewhere. It's got all these jewels on it.
Just gonna allow it to flow back up to your hand.
There we go. Okay, I just got my crown back, and I just put it on my wife, and she just woke up. She's pissed. Poseidon is he's trying to gain control over all these people that have eaten this stuff, and he can't.
Can we have all of that stuff removed?
Yeah, they're throwing it out. It's all being taken out.
Yeah.
Poseidon just took off. I could see his stupid tail. He just took off. And the veil is lifted. You can see these golden creatures. They're all walking now. They almost look like they've got really long blonde hair. And they're laughing. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. You just got unchained.
He had me chained.
You were chained. You had a chain around your neck. You had a chain around your arms, and you couldn't move. He had a hand. He had a chain. The links were in his hand, and he wouldn't let you go. And you just moved out of that. You're free now.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah. is thriving now. But I couldn't save myself. I still die in that. I see me turning to stone.
Who is in charge of the Atlanteans then? Poseidon is gone. You're gone.
I think his wife and you are right now. I can't say, oh, maybe there's another king coming in. You're really happy. There's all these like fish dancing around too. It's actually cute.
Is that Ariel?
Maybe. I think it could be Ariel. I'm not sure. But you're just happy. Something released off of.
But all of the Atlanteans are free now.
Yeah, they're all free and they're not. It's like this stuff was a virus. It was so bad for them. And now I'm even watching Atlantis is lighting up. It was dark for a while. Now I can see lights going off all around the city. But parts of it are underwater and parts of it are not. And I want to say that part of it is in Wales. I want to say that fortress was part of it for some reason. And I've got one of those damn eggs in my back.
Can you take it out?
Yeah.
Do I have any more as well?
You and the wife never had any.
Okay.
You guys were chained. You were under a different spell. Those ball things were to control the people, but I can see mine that's moving down my spine, out my hip, and the mine is blue. But it's like a globule, plasma-like, and inside there's a computer.
I'm going to ask that. So he was working with AI, ancient tech.
Yeah.
Back then. Was it for mind control?
It was for control. It was to strip people from who they really were. This literally was like an experiment. It had a different effect on every person. And he was enjoying seeing the effect on each person because they couldn't do anything about it. It wasn't killing them. It was creating something different in each person. And they were addicted to them.
We're going to ask that all of those objects get removed from all time, space, reality, that no one could ever replicate them, and that they would never be effective in controlling anyone ever again.
Okay, they're all floating away.
We're going to break any power grid that Poseidon has or created at that time, so he can never harm the planet again.
Okay. What is that statue of Socrates? You know where he's thinking, and he goes, I think, therefore I am.
Yeah.
Do you see it where he's got like his hand under his chin?
Mm-hmm.
He has something to do with Poseidon too.
Is he a minion, or is he
Poseidon,
an aspect of Poseidon?
I think Poseidon is either tried to be Socrates. I saw him like rush away, and then I keep on seeing that big statue.
He's trying to proclaim himself as necessary on the planet. But I don't think he's necessary here. He's done more damage than help.
Yeah, he keeps on pointing me to that I think therefore I am. And I just laughed at him and I said I am therefore I think.
So you personally have a thing with him because you are similar in some ways.
He's not afraid of me. And I'm not afraid of him. He's very sneaky. He has to do all this stuff to get people to follow him, but he's just not He also knows that we can control the weather and the oceans and all of that, so he's not as powerful as he proclaims himself to be. He just showed me a tsunami. He literally just screamed at me and said, I can create tsunamis. And I looked at him and I said, so? He's got something really negative about him. It doesn't scare me.
Have we helped the Atlanteans?
Yeah.
And they're all free of him?
Very much. He's gone. He's completely gone. He keeps on showing me, keeps on trying to show me how powerful he is.
But he's losing power.
Yeah, because the Socrates thing also doesn't hold water, because he pointed me to the Roman times, and he was trying to show me how many people followed him. But then I showed him that they followed him more after he died, and that he didn't have any more control.
Were you there on Neptune as well? Can you see if Bartholomew was on Neptune as well?
So now I see wings around Bartholomew. His big wings, he's flying around somewhere.
Like an angel?
Like an angel, really, really big wings. And he's on Pegasus. He doesn't have the wings, he's sitting on Pegasus. He's riding Pegasus. Yeah, I'm not on Neptune, but I can see it. There's some kind of a battle. But Poseidon's not Poseidon on Neptune. He's something else. What is that? There's something, it keeps on morphing. It's like so Bartholomew is on his Pegasus or a horse, and he's got wings. I can't figure out the difference yet. He's flying, and there's something chasing him. Looks almost like it's morphing, but it's going from like a skull, almost a skull and bones, to then a bird. I don't know what that is. I don't even know how to describe it.
This is what Poseidon is going through?
Poseidon is going through some kind of figuring out what he wants to be on planet Earth.
He's changing this because he was able to. Was he infected and manipulated in his thinking as well?
Poseidon?
Yes.
So the first thing I saw was a bald eagle. And he was, it could be that. It's something where the bald eagle then turned into like skull and bones and darkness. But he was seeing himself for the first time, and he was chasing Bartholomew. It's almost like it was play at first. And then something hit him, like, I don't know. I know this makes no sense to me. I just don't even know what it is.
Yeah, just keep talking.
Okay, so now I'm seeing on the back of that bald eagle like a computer, AI again.
Who brought the AI?
I don't know. But it split Poseidon somehow. So Bartholomew took off. Bartholomew is somewhere in hiding, and you can see that he doesn't want anything to do. They were friends.
Yeah. That's why I asked if they knew each other on Neptune, because Poseidon was on Neptune.
They were friends. Something to do with birds.
Maybe that was one of the abilities that Poseidon gave him. Because they can't fly on Neptune.
All I'm seeing is water. So I'm saying I could see Neptune as them being friends, but then I'm seeing that like a race happening above water. Yeah, I don't know. They were friends somehow, but there's something happened. AI is involved again here because I can see the back of the bird. There's all these circuits and lights.
So that's ancient AI.
Yeah, and it's weird because it shows up in these, it looks like plasma. Plasma with a living organism inside of it, it's AI. It doesn't have any personality or anything. It has a fixed function.
Where does it come from? Did Poseidon create it?
It's like something is pumping them out. See a long string. Something is pumping them out. What is pumping them out? What is that thing? It's now there's like this really, really big blue thing on the side of some kind of a mountain. It's like a massive blue crystal, but it almost looks like an opal.
Mm.
And there's something coming out of it, and it looks like a hive thing, like a. It feels like that's what's. It's almost like insect eggs.
Mm.
But it's opal. I can see it. I see it's blue opal.
And who brought it there? Who brought it to the earth?
It's being handed off. They do not want me talking about this. There's somebody's doing something to my back hip. I've got burning on the back of my left hip.
We're going to help you to see who's doing that to you. We'll remove the veil and you're going to see it.
It's some kind of fallen angel. Something with black wings just showed up right in front of me and unveiled, and he has a scar over one eye.
What's his name?
He's hurting me.
He's going to stop right now. He does not have your permission to touch you. You know his name.
I don't know if this is his name, but I hear the word Enoch. I hear...
No, he's hiding, but that's not his real name.
He's like insect-like. He's morphing.
So he wasn't really an angel. Does he still call himself Enoch?
I'm in confusion right now. There's black smoke everywhere. I can't. Okay, it eased up. It's not hurting my back, my hip anymore. God damn it.
He's a part of the AI.
Yeah, but damn it, it looks again like that frickin' ship I saw that was cloaked. That damn blue plasma. It looks like a bunch of 12D Pleiadians. But it looks like those insectoids.
Yeah.
And those weird creatures with those big heads.
Okay, maybe there's another group of them. We're going to ask that they were extracted or removed from the earth right now.
I'm pulling them out. It's again that big bug idea. That opalescent thing was like another big frickin' beetle. And this one was, again, it was like hatching eggs that were AI. There's something AI having to do with it. They're all smiling. They're all happy. And they know they're doing bad things.
Why are they doing these things?
For control, they're doing something. They're morphing people's bodies. They're affecting people's bodies with this stuff.
What are they gaining by doing this?
Control. And games. They want to
play games.
They're doing something to morph people's bodies to see how people react to them. Yeah, see, now it feels like a new species. that it's something connected to the womb. And it's a surrogate thing. They took the womb and they were creating beings from that. They're doing some kind of DNA stuff, but it's like they're birthing, oh Jesus, Mother of Christ. They're birthing AIs from human wombs.
Oh my God.
They're eggs in her stomach. They're birthing, and they're more than one. They do not, God, they do not want me to see this.
Wow.
I can see the wombs that are on that ship, and they're birthing, and there's these plasma things that are going into their wombs, and they're birthing these, but they can't get it right yet. And they're discarding like the fetuses or whatever that are being created. They're like throwing them away and keeping some, throwing them away, it's all an experiment. Again, with the DNA shit. That felt like somebody just stabbed me.
Is it from the ship?
It's from that thing that was like a, oh my God, my calf. That's what they were doing with the AI. They were taking my measurements. They were looking at how to recreate. They were trying to take some of my DNA, all that robotic shit. And I know, and it was her womb, and there's Shagufta's in there as well. It's like bits and pieces of us are being taken. They're trying to create something. For some reason, the part is that she's part of a species. I think those are Zoroastrians or something where their wombs are they're golden or something, where they can handle this kind of a DNA like morphing to create these new people.
Mm-hmm.
I see a womb, but it's like it's gold. And I see people looking over them, watching them as they're like impregnating them to make this new kind of species. But they haven't gotten to the place yet where they're creating the new species. Maybe the Atlantis I saw were like their experiments. I'm not sure. These are messed up beings. They're perturbed and stuff. So I think they were mixed in there. I don't know what they were doing. They were doing so many different experiments. It's gross. My entire leg now is big. Oh, God.
Well, anything that you're experiencing right now is going to go away.
There's like hot.
You're releasing all the energy. They do not have control. They are falling apart because you're disentangling from them all right now. They do not have access into your field anymore. Poseidon has broken his power. And they no longer have power over you. You do not consent or agree to allowing them to come near you. They don't have any control over the planet any longer and cannot torture and torment anyone anymore.
He just came right in and said, "You idiot, she just yelled at me. She just yelled at me because it's the hybrid part of her that said, we're trying to figure out how to reproduce."
That's not your problem, and they don't have permission.
She's laughing at me. She's going, "You gave your free will a long time ago." I'm just standing my ground looking at her.
I'm taking it back right now.
Taking back my free will right now.
You've lost your free will on this planet.
All of you have lost your free will on this planet. You have no right to be doing this. You don't have my permission. This is messed up. You guys go. This is a gray thing. This is a gray fucking experiment.
Yes.
Oh my God, I've got goosebumps.
They are losing power.
Oh my God. That was a gray stabbing me. That was what was trying to hide.
Yes.
Fucking gray. I just saw him. Got no emotion. He doesn't care. He just walked away. He dropped this like sharp instrument and just said, "I'll try again later."
You are breaking any connection to any aspect that were brought in. in any time, space, reality right now. She's the one that opened the door to access these things into your field.
Because she's a hybrid gray, and that's their whole idea, is to reproduce, and that's what they were using all of us for. And she made a deal with them. Jesus Christ, Jessica, she made a deal with them. She made a deal with them that they could come in and screw the grays, would fuck with our DNAs to try to create this new species. I can see her talking to them about it.
So she's using the female's wounds. What is she doing with the males?
Sperm. But the sperm is being manipulated with AI, because the grays can't recreate their own species because of their lack of emotion, but they want to keep the AI part in it. But it keeps on failing. They can't do it. They can't figure it out. So that's why with the Atlanteans, I was watching them trying to take these plasma things to put them in the bodies for them to create a kind of species. That wasn't working. It was like different levels of experimentation. And then I saw the wombs, where some of the sperm from these guys was taken, but it was manipulated. And that's where comes in. It's a robot. It's a cyborg.
What's he doing?
He's literally, he was
Carrier?
the one that was a carrier, but also was messing around with other guys' sperms without them knowing it, trying to create this new fucking super AI sperm.
And what are they doing with these beings after they're created?
They're not able to create them yet. They're doing everything they can. They're gathering the wombs, like they're testing the sperm. There's different levels everywhere that I saw. With the Atlanteans, it was like they were affecting them by getting them to either eat them or through osmosis go into their bodies to see if they couldn't create a species like that. And then the womb was another part of it where they're trying to impregnate it with regular sperm, but there's always the AI component. They go hand in hand. The grays do not want to reproduce without that AI component. And they've got all these species trying to help them. The 12D Pleiadians, like they're focusing on the looks and on the aesthetics of it. And then the AI part is totally the grays. And the grays are connected with those people with the big heads, but those people with the big heads are not good people. And there's Corey Good.
What's he doing?
There he is. He's in the lab, and he's showing them what to do with the AI to create a sperm-like thing to put it in the womb.
Who is Corey Good?
He's a gray. He's one of the grays. He's got a cape on. He's got really big eyes. No, oh my God, he looks almost like an insect.
Does he go by the name of Capon sometimes?
I just got shivers that you said that.
Yeah. I've seen him before.
He's part of this whole new thing. He's showing them how to create a new species, a new breed.
Is this the ones that I said were trying to replace humans?
Yeah.
So the 12D Pleiadians and the Greys are working together?
Yeah. There's no Dracos. There's insectoid people there.
Like mantids?
Yeah, mantis, praying mantis. Poseidon was the one. The deal with Poseidon was that he got to go down there and chain you up, keep the wife where she was, and it was like to see how they would do with there's that plasma thing is like almost like sperm or AI to then it was in different phases, and when it would go into these people, they would morph in a certain way. They're like testing out what a new species would be like that is under complete control.
What do I have to do with this plan? How do they use me?
You're the one that everyone trusts. When they see you, they trust you. But you're also what the 12D Pleiadians, what they want them to look like. You're the physical attributes of what they want these species to look like, and you're very beautiful, and you're very graceful. But they couldn't control you. You wouldn't put these things in your body. And so they're trying to, with you, like it's almost, it looks like they're almost working on The wounds that they were using was to how, like, replicate it. They were going to try to, I think, reproduce with you. But they're not, they're like at the beginning of this. I can see them literally. This is an experiment that's going to take a long, long time to figure out. But what they're doing is they're keeping us baited. Like, you can tell Corey Good is baiting people to go, yeah, it'll happen now, to get everybody to focus on this, focus on there's a new species that's going to come in.
Was Corey Good in my labs that we were put in?
He knows what he's talking about with this stuff. He knows. I can see him like cutting tissue away. He's in some kind of a lab. He's definitely part of. He
doesn't look the same way he does now.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't look like that at all, but he's shorter. He doesn't look like Corey Good. Please don't tell me that's. I think he has a link to Mengele.
Mengele?
I think he has a link to that.
Like that it's him, or he's connected to him?
He's either his assistant.
So he mutilates bodies.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's mutilating the bodies.
Does that have to do with that Black Dahlia? Was that me? And was he involved in that?
Oh, God. He was that guy. He was that doctor. I can see him now. He's got he's running around with a big mask with big horns on, dancing around with people.
Like,
and he's with Abramovich. He's with Marina, whatever how the hell her name is. He's a bad guy, Jessica. He's a bad freaking guy. He's mutilating. He is some kind of a gray thing. And this is their playground.
Do you see that I was the Black Dahlia?
Yeah, because I just saw you on the table being dissected.
Right. And then he just why did he pose?
Because he was the doctor that he was posing as was a great art dealer, connoisseur, whatever, and he was all into the Salvador weird shit stuff that was like, he would pass it off as art. He had these sick parties where people thought that it was like art, like Marina would come in and do this art and they thought it was actually like, they thought it was like paint, but it was real blood.
So piece by piece, we were looking at different parts of this, and now it's all connected.
It's all a show. It's all a show. But what's crazy is all this stuff is real, like the mutilations of the body and all this stuff. And they're like laughing about it because they're literally saying, we're showing you what we're doing, but you just won't believe it because it's.
So during the time of Helter Skelter, there was someone by the name of Sharon Tate, who I believe I was also connected to, and they mutilated her as well.
She took your baby.
Child. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why did they do that?
They wanted the baby, but they wanted to do something to the baby.
And who was the baby?
I'm looking at the baby, but I can see the baby in the womb. She was my lapped.
Baby was, or the mother? Or...
While she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Something happened while she was pregnant. And it was some kind of an experiment where that baby couldn't be born. Again, with the fucking knife in my back. Listen, dude, you don't have any right to do that. Get the fuck away from me. Oh, that was Charles Manson. No, I'll do what I want. You don't have any.
He's great too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great. And he was channeled by several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a botched experiment. That was to cover up some kind of a MyLab thing that they messed up.
Was I planning on talking in exposing them.
Yeah, but you also knew that there was something very wrong with your baby. And your husband
was altered.
Yeah, and your husband knew about it. Roman Polanski knew about it. That's why he wasn't there.
He knew that
he knew what was
they
going
were
to
going to
happen.
take the baby out.
He's a Mason.
Was a hybrid?
He's a Freemason. Roman Polanski is he's a Masonic guy. I see him around a table with those pointy hats.
Yeah.
And he's doing a ritual, and he's doing something, and there's a deal made so that this, like the baby, something with the baby, like a Rosemary's Baby idea. But something got messed up, and he set that up so that you would be killed.
So were they trying to put an antichrist in my stomach, like Rosemary's Baby thing?
I don't know if it was an antichrist. They were trying to do something with her to have maybe one of these new beings come up, but you knew about it.
Oh. And who is Roman Polanski? Is he a gray as well? What is he?
She says black eyes right now. What are you? You're not going to like this. He's a blue avian.
Roman Polanski is a blue avian?
Yeah, he's a blue avian.
Jeez.
I just got goosebumps all over me. I just saw him with black eyes, and then his thing came out, and that's what it was. That's what it was. It was the birds. It was the birds.
So the birds were not angels, they were manufactured.
I got goosebumps all over me, but not only that, that was the bird that I saw, that was chasing after Poseidon.
Wow.
He took his cap off, he had black feathers, and he turned to me, and I saw him, and it was a blue avian.
Wow. I didn't know the blue avians were here that long.
God, I have goosebumps running up and down my body like I've never had before.
Wow.
But something's happening. We're around that table, and it's lighting up. It was black and white, but it's lighting up. There's something going on. Some veil just got lifted, but they're all in deep shit. Those goosebumps, there's something coming in that sees this. They know that they're found out.
We're protected.
Yeah, I know. I'm not scared. I just feel like something just happened where some kind of a counselor, something just saw. Like they now have to answer for what they did.
Right. Absolutely.
And those blue avians are not blue, they're black. They have black feathers.
Yes. Where did they originally come from?
I want to say something with crows.
Like a raven or a crow?
Yeah.
But they're a humanoid.
They are humanoid, but where are you from? Like I'm seeing the movie The Birds. Owls. Oh shit, they come from something with the grays or Zeta Reticuli? Is that what you're showing?
It's different variations.
I know.
It's probably experimentation hybrid. Trying to replicate angels. Maybe.
Yeah. I see some kind of a planet that's, I don't know what the planet is, but it's very desolate, but I see a lot of different birds. Weird birds. Some with faces. A lot of vultures. And somebody just said that's why they were used in the olden days as messengers, the pigeons and the crows, to fly across and give messages.
Mm-hmm.
They were engineered to do that first. There's some kind of a hybrid thing, but that's where the blue avians come from. And they were never blue, they were black.
They came in a long time ago?
Yeah. And they were crossed with something to get them to that size. Some kind of, I almost want to say an aboriginal, some kind of a...
Like an early humanoid?
Yeah, but a very peaceful one. And they were combined, and that's how they turned out to be what they are. But then they painted themselves to make themselves look less scary because they're not blue. They're black, like black. It's something to do with the crows and the vultures. Yeah, so Roman, yeah.
There are many animals, birds, that were crossbred, and that's something that we know from Atlantis, in early Greece. There were bulls, half bull, half man, half horse.
Even the Egyptians and all that, yeah.
What's happening now? Are they in trouble? Are they being pulled from the planet?
They're being pulled. They all got pulled out. They had capes on, and they just got pulled out. They got pulled out from this circle thing where they were doing some kind of a ceremony.
What's going to happen to
everything
Corey
lit up
Good?
them?
Corey Good is being taken out?
No, Corey Good was in that spaceship. Corey Good is doing something else. Corey Good is really good at hiding. But for some reason, everybody that Corey Good is around trusts him, and he's almost protected.
It's not going to always happen that way. Can't do.
He was involved in some other experiment, and it went really, really wrong. It went really, really wrong, and he's now like looking up at them and kind of looking worried. He's some kind of engineer. With this whole thing with doctors, whatever, he feels like he's really important. He's like at the basis of something. He's responsible for a hell of a lot of shit.
Does he go by the name of Murkoff as well?
I just saw this.
Yes, yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know how he did this, but he feels like he's got his hands in so many different things.
Does he hurt James Rink? Does he put him into my labs and do all this stuff to him?
He's at the head of my labs. He's a doctor there. He's something there where he's involved in the overseeing of things. But it's like when he walks in and patients are being tortured, it's almost like there's an automatic mind wipe, so they don't see Corey Good. They don't see him, and he's not Corey Good in that. But he's very protected. Like it's like he can waft in and out of places, and he's just a very important person with the knowledge that he has. It almost feels like he's the developer of all these experiments, and that's why he knows so much about all this stuff. But he did something, and there's an O in there, and I think maybe you were saying Murkoff, but there's an experiment with an O that went very, very badly, and he was at the head of it. And people were scared of him because of that. So what I'm seeing right now, he describes this thing to David Wilcock where he was on the stage with that golden triangle thing and the blue avian. And he said he was translating for the blue avian, and I just saw it. He was telling the blue avian what to say. It didn't happen like that at all. He's a master manipulator, Jessica.
Is he connected to Poseidon?
He's connected to water somehow. He just, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing how they're torturing people. They're killing people by drowning them and then bringing them back to life.
I think they call that waterboarding or something.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is, but it's just horrible. He's got something to do with Poseidon, but I don't. Poseidon doesn't feel very intelligent. Poseidon is just out for power. Poseidon is like a 30-year-old teenager.
Right. But he's more of like a psychopath, like premeditated torture type of thing, right?
Poseidon or Corey Good?
Yeah, the entity in Corey Good. Doctor. My lab. Like Megala.
He wants to know how things work to change them. He's just this. You're right, he's a psychopath. He's power hungry, but he's like going into nature's laws and changing things. I can see him like overseeing things that are horrible. And he keeps on doing it to figure out how it's working to then manipulate and change it. It's like he can't see me. He's somehow protected. Like, I know it's not forever, but I can't touch him. I can't go near him. The Roman Polanski, the Charles Manson, all that, I could see that, and it got pulled out. For some reason, It's like Corey Good has gotten so good. I'm talking about that entity right now, not Corey Good, but that entity is so good at shifting. It's like he can swoop in and be whatever he wants in any moment to go and control things. But he's a she too sometimes.
Right.
He's a guy that's got way too much power, and people almost need him or want him to be around for the information that he has. He's a master manipulator. He knows how to convince people of things. He's like, but he's a singular entity, and I'm pretty sure he's a gray.
Is there another female that he reveals himself as that we may recognize?
There is a Pleiadian. I just saw a blonde woman step out, a Pleiadian.
Doesn't she look familiar to you? Or do you have a name?
I want to see either Arya or Anya. But she has really green eyes. Greenish blue eyes. She's got very thin features. She's a beautiful, beautiful Pleiadian. Or what I think a Pleiadian looks like, because I don't know how pretty they are. He reveals he's David Wilcock's wife.
Wow.
He puts himself in his wife.
Wow. That explains something.
And I think Elizabeth's middle Wilcock's name is A something.
I think it's Ariel or something like that.
That's why I saw that, but I saw her face and then it morphed and then I just saw Elizabeth Wilcock.
All right, so who is David Wilcock? Why does he want him that way?
So I just asked the veil to be lifted and I was told he's a kind of reptilian. I don't think a bad one. I think one that is, I don't know.
Let's go deeper. Is there something else there besides a reptilian? Because the reptilian may be in control of him. Why does Corey Good want to mate with David Wilcock?
Because David Wilcock is likable and he's believable. He's learning from him. It's almost like he's watching him to take over the David Wilcock followers. But I can see him literally messing with David Wilcock, creating havoc in his body. It's almost like he's operating on David Wilcock, doing some nasty things to him.
But is David Wilcock benevolent?
It feels like he's being influenced. So it looks like he's I don't even know why I'm going to say this. He's somehow related to the Anshars.
David Wilcock?
Yeah. I just was shown an Anshar. It was like there's some kind of a symbol or something for the Anshars. And he was wearing it around his neck.
Do you think he was hijacked?
I think he was. I think he was hijacked. I think he was hijacked, and that's why Corey Good and him are working together. And I mean, don't laugh at this, but I think that's one of the reasons he's got a problem with his teeth. And now I'm wondering if his wife is not an Anshar as well, and I just thought it was a Pleiadian.
Is he trying to say that he's Alpha Centaurian?
Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure, but that just kind of piqued I don't know.
Because he said the Alpha Centaurian have sharp teeth, and as far as I remember, they don't.
All I know is that these teeth, there's something Ansharian about him.
But he's going to call himself an Alpha Centaurian instead.
Well, that's probably going to be part of the misinformation. He's wearing a locket. There's something around his neck that has hijacked him. I don't know what it is, but there's something around, and it looks like it's like a round, I can see it clear now. It's a medallion where there's like a half a triangle here and another one here. They're connect in the middle. And there's like a circle around, so I can draw it. But it's around his neck. But he willfully had it put on him. He went willfully. He wasn't fighting. I can see him right now. I can see him as an Anshar. I think he was hijacked, and that's how Corey Good. It's all a play. It's all messed up. It's all a freaking. It's like a joke, and they're bringing in people. You know what? Now I want to look at that cube. Because that cube just popped down.
Who's in the cube?
There's no one in the cube. It's some kind of a. There's like waves coming off of it.
Frequency?
Yeah, there's a frequency being used with it.
Who sent it here?
Okay, I just got blue aliens. I just heard blue aliens. I didn't see anything. I just heard blue aliens. And then it feels like they're working with the Anshar. It's emitting some kind of a frequency. Almost feels like wave sound. It's the same technology being used by that species that was using to call people, to get them to trust stuff. It's almost like it's a frequency to trust whatever's happening with like this disinformation. It's manipulating us. It's some kind of, but it's not meant to do that. It's some kind of an AI thing. They've done something AI with it. But the basis of it comes from the species that I see being, which is something very sweet. It's like a toning that relaxes you to open you up. And you trust it. But this cube has something AI that wants control, that wants something else. See, I can see one of those plasma things right in the middle of that cube. It's right in the middle of that cube.
I'm going to shut down, delete, uninstall any and all cubes, programs, anything that relates to that.
And the military's in on it. That's why they're next to them, because that's the cabal. They're in on it to keep us under control. There's some kind of there's behind the scenes negotiation going on right now.
But the government doesn't realize what they're consenting to.
No, they don't. But it's all about control. It's all about who can control the planet, because we're in such upheaval right now. They're all negotiating our lives.
That's going to change. They're losing ground now.
Okay, the cube just broke apart. It just broke apart and disappeared.
Is there anything else that you want to share, you want to look at?
No, but you and I definitely need to be going where we're going tomorrow. Because I'm in the middle of Joshua Tree. There's something there. And it has to do with the Pleiadians. There's something about the Pleiadians there, Jessica.
Well, I know that we have to take back a bunch of souls that are still trapped somewhere.
Yeah, there's something with the Pleiadians out there. I don't know what it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
You have been listening to Andronetalks Radio. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Errol Morocco and visit her website at www.readingsbyariel.com.